Hi, Luke from Korg here, and today I'm showing you the KingKorg NEO. This is our analog modelling synth with vocoder built in as well. So let's dive in and have a listen to some of the sounds. So it's dead easy to select your sounds from these categories here. I can just press any of these and then I'm straight into those categories. So say for instance I wanted to go into the bass category, I'm straight in and then I can use this knob to select my basses. And same thing in all the other categories. Let's go into the motion category. I really like this sound. You can also use these buttons as favourites. So these two modes here toggle between the two basically. So you can see I've gone into my favourites mode now, and these are all my favourite sounds which I'm going to show you today. So the first one there was the one we were just using. I really like this sound as well. We could also use the buttons here to go up and down octaves. There's some great signature sounds in here as well, and what I mean by that is that I like famous sounds from particular songs, stuff like this. Every time you select a sound, these screens change as well because we've got dedicated screens for the oscillator section and the filter section. So what the oscillator section tells you is what sound effectively is on each oscillator, 1, 2 and 3. So which waveform you're using, and then you can go in and change those with this dial. So we're in the analog modelling section there as well. But by pressing this knob, we can actually cycle through the different sections. So we've got analog modelled waveforms, we've got DWGS, which are digital, we've got PCM, which are sample based waveforms, and we've got a mic input as well. So that's where your vocoder will come into play. So what's great about having the PCM waveforms is it means we can recreate some of our classic Korg sounds, like the M1 organ for example. Or the piano. To get that classic dance piano, and that sound traditionally would be very difficult to get on an analog modelled synth. So by having these sample based sounds in here as well, it just widens your scope for creativity. We've also got two layers, or timbres as we call them here, A and B, and that means we can have two completely different things happening at the same time. So we can have a layer of a nice pad along with that nice motion underneath, and that's the LFO here helping us add that motion. We've got a dedicated filter section as well, and we've actually got 18 models of different filters in here, classic ones from the past and our own as well. So we can recreate sounds like this. Classic kind of pad sound. If I now change filter, you'll hear the difference. So you can see we've got our own MS-20 model in there as well. And you can also model like that really nice creamy bass sounds here. And of course you have your own dedicated cut-off knob there and resonance. as well as your EG intensity, and that basically is how much of the filter is sent to the envelope here. So this envelope can be your regular ADSR, so your attack, decay, sustain and release for your sound, but also for the filter as well. Other filters we've modelled, the classic acid bass filter. We've got great effects built in as well. We've actually got 3 different blocks. We've got pre-effects, mod effects and reverbs and delays there on these knobs, which we can turn on and off really easily just by pushing them, and as also assign them to timbre A and B if we're using them, which is a really quick and easy way to assign your effects, and you've got dedicated controls for each of the 3. So for instance, we've got a sound like this one here. So we've already got some distortion on there. We can adjust the amount of drive. We can turn it off. Let's bring in some mod effects just by pressing the knob there. So we've got some nice rotary effects on there as well. Or maybe some chorus. Maybe add some plate reverb. We've also got delays as well, so if we use this nice mod delay, it gives us this sort of effect. We can adjust the note value, so we can have some nice tempo sync delay. And this is the depth. And as you can hear, you can really start getting quite aggressive with your sounds with that overdrive. We've also got our pitch bend mod wheel here, which I've been using a little bit already, and that allows us to shape our sound. Because it's an XY joystick, we can use it for things like pitch, as you'd normally find, but on the Y-axis, you can assign it to whatever you want. To really kind of open up the sound and really change it to how you want. It's completely assignable. You've got an arpeggiator built in it as well. That's under this button here. So we can just turn it on and off. If you want to then see more details about what's happening with the arpeggiator, just hold down Shift and press ARP. It will show you the tempo. It will show you whether it's latched, so let's latch that now. So what that means is that when I play, it continues to play even if I take my hands off. You can assign it to timbre A or B. You can change the direction of it. You can also change the gate time. So that's how long each note plays. You can swing it as well to get more of a dotted feel. You can change the range. And you can also change which steps play. So at the moment all 8 steps are playing. But we can go through here and take some out. Get more of a syncopated feel. Another mode you can put it in is called trigger mode, and that allows you to play in a slightly different way. You can play a chord and that will just repeat that chord, but it works particularly well, especially when you're using delays like this. You'll also notice that that's actually changing the sound itself when I use different velocities. So here, if I play hard, it opens up the filter, whereas if I play it quite soft, it softens up the sound. So it gives you a really nice dynamic sound to be able to perform with. Because we've got our two timbres as well, we can actually layer two sounds together, as we heard before, but one of those could be arpeggiated and maybe the other isn't. So you get some fabulous effects like this. And then whichever layer you're on, A or B, that's what all the controls relate to. So for instance now, timbre B is the arpeggiated pattern which I can filter independently of the pad underneath. So as I said in the intro, this is not just a synthesizer, it's also a vocoder, and luckily you get a nice gooseneck mic included as well. So let's get that plugged in. Okay, so to use the vocoder, you need to first of all select a sound that's relevant for a vocoder sound and set up ready. So you go into the sound effects / vocal category, and in there's lots of great presets for the vocoder, and of course you can make your own sounds as well with the vocoder. This one's called Mr. Vocoder. You've got some other great vocoder sounds in there as well, like this one for instance. This is called So connections wise, we've got this vocoder of course, but it's a standard XLR jack. So what that means is you can use any other microphone with it or any other instrument. So you can use that as a modulator for the vocoder, which is really cool. Other connections on the back, you've got your power of course, you've got the audio left and right jacks which we're using today to get out to our sound system. You've got a pedal connected which I've been using today as a damper pedal, but you've got a second pedal input as well. So you can connect an assignable pedal, that could be a volume pedal or a switch. You've also got regular MIDI, so you can connect to any other MIDI device out there, module, keyboard, whatever it is. And you've got USB, so you can connect to a DAW for example in your computer if you want to do some recording. So there we go, that's the KingKorg NEO, our amazing analog modelling synth with a vocoder built in. Go check it out.